Go for it.
Oh, yeah. 3 pre-rolls this week, starting with Tommy John. It's spring. When you go from freezing your balls off to sweating them off. When you just want to be comfortable, you want to treat yourself to a pair of new Tommy John underwear. Get 20% off your first order at TommyJohn.com/JRVP. Save 20% right now at TommyJohn.com/JRVP. TommyJohn.com/JRVP. See the site for details. I'm wearing my Tommy John right now. We also love our friends at Aura. Did you know that your personal info is out there for anyone to find? Data brokers scrape public tax record and sell that information legally for a limited time. Aura is offering our listeners a 14-day trial plus a check of your data to see if your personal information has been leaked online, all for free when you visit aura.com/JRVP. That's AURA.com/JRVP to sign up for a 14-day free trial. Start protecting you and your loved one. Certain terms apply. And you know we're wrapping up with Athletic Greens. Starting to run out of Athletic Greens. We've been chugging it at home. If you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/JRVP. That's athleticgreens.com/JRVP. Check it out. 3 pre-rolls. Just the way I like to start an episode, which will be hitting on smelly office lunches, conservative comedians, and conjoined twins who don't share a boyfriend. Next on episode 202 of the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project.
JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
Raise the Jolly Roger.
Raise it. It's like the energy I like. You seem a little tired coming in, but that quote got you going. What's with raises Jolly Roger?
It's what they say at Pirates games when they win. Raise the Jolly Roger.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, some people say it. The levels are all off, Aaron.
Sorry.
I can't hear Greg.
You can't hear Greg? Oh, shit.
Just on that last one, yeah. I mean, we could start over.
No. We never start over. We're not starting over because Aaron's shit in the bed over there.
No, yeah. I just had my soundboard turned down too low.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yep.
It's been a great sports weekend for Pittsburgh. I've never seen anything like it. I'll be honest. Like having the Penguins out of the playoffs, not even making the playoffs, was a bummer. Hasn't happened in a long, long time. But I cannot remember a time in my life where the Pirates were this good this early. And I know it's a long, long season, but to have 20 wins in April,
everyone's talking about it,
is nuts. It's nuts. I've been really enjoying that. And then I do not remember a draft. I do not remember an NFL draft where the fans were so happy. Like the Pittsburgh fans are over the moon with what they did. Omar Khan, the con artist, as Tomlin likes to call him, I think everyone's psyched. I'm pumped about it.
Well, just because they're like updating their old school thinking. They were this weird team that just would refuse to trade. I don't know why they thought that was like a cool thing to do. They wouldn't sign free agents. They wouldn't trade. It was like, well, we're the old school Steelers. We don't need to do newfangled stuff like that. And now their GM actually does that stuff. So I think that's why people are happy. But I did like the players they got, and they are a sneaky contender, I think, in 2023.
I think they'll make the playoffs next year. I'm excited to watch Kenny Pickett and see how he does. But it was great to see, it's like, should we take Joey Porter Jr. In the first round? We got him in the second round. Everyone's psyched. I'm happy about all these players. I don't know any of them. I didn't know shit. I know Joey Porter Jr. because he's Joey Porter's son, but I read all about him. I followed the draft this weekend, and I was psyched. It's interesting for Pittsburgh fans to be so happy, and I'm thrilled. I'm wearing my Pirates hat. I'm psyched. I'm all in on the Pirates this year. This was gonna be the year I became a Dodgers guy. I was gonna go Dodgers, and now I'm just all about the Pirates. I'm more excited.
Why can't you can just be both?
I can be both. But the Pirates come to play the Dodgers in July. And I'm going to go to the games, and I'm like, well, I mean, I'm definitely a Pirates guy, but I want to see more Dodgers games. I want to get out there. Touring is getting crazier and crazier. I've got 4 straight weeks now in clubs. I will be in Huntsville, Alabama this weekend for 5 sold-out shows. If you're in Huntsville and you want tickets, you don't have tickets, show up at the show. They'll be releasing my holds before the shows, and there's those people who don't show up. So if you want to go and it's sold out, show up anyway. You will get in. You will get seats. I will get the money. So come check it out. I got 4 weeks, and then I'm adding more shows this summer. I just agreed to some more shows in Canada. I'm doing a festival and another weekend there. And Toronto will be coming next year. Don't worry about Toronto. I love Toronto. I'll get there. But a bunch more Canada shows, and then adding second shows to a bunch more cities this week. It's a very successful rollout. So I'm thrilled. But I'm
Well,
also
what's
tired.
that smile on your face? You're just excited about all
I'm
this,
excited.
dollar signs coming in, all
The
these
money
tickets being
and
sold.
just knowing, it's been a while since I've been out on the road, and it's nice to know that that people are still into it. So this is the best tour I've ever had before I even started, really, in terms of ticket sales in advance. So I'm excited, and people are going to be thrilled with the shows. I can't wait.
That's why, before you went back on the road, I was thinking we might have a good bonding little night to relax going to the LA Kings game over the weekend. But I ended up going with Emeka. But that was fun. I got to know what you love about hockey, an amazing live environment.
It's amazing, and live playoffs is incredible. You said the Kings lost. It was a great game. I was following
It was a
it.
classic.
I was following it live, and was just this is. If the Kings won, I would have been mad at you for not taking me. Because Greg invited me to the game.
I blew it.
Said
Now Emeka's going to hear
I might
this.
not get tickets. Well, no, this is fine. You said I might not. I'm trying to get tickets. I put in a request. If I get them and it's a night game, let's go. And I was like, great, I'm in. I don't have any plans this weekend. And then you were like, actually, tickets fell through. And when I say fell through, I got them. But Emeka wants to go. And listen, your wife takes precedent.
Absolutely.
Your wife wants to go to the game. I'm thrilled for you guys to go to the game. But watching it, I was like, this might be an all-timer. And it kind of was. The fact that the Kings lost and the fans were still excited about that shorthanded goal, which was amazing, that's a great experience. And I'm glad Emeka loved it.
Yeah, it was life's full of surprise. I just thought she wasn't going to want to go. She did want to go, and we had fun. And it was especially nice because it was a long week. I do a lot of podcasting, a lot of writing, a lot of working for the NFL draft, and it just ended a couple hours before that. We had just finished working. Big NFL weekend, and it does remind me, we were talking on episode 200 about how this show started so football themed, and the whole business model in terms of the NFL over this time period hasn't changed at all. It's still very good to be covering football. Let's hit it, Aaron.
Well, football is a business, and it is a business built on fucking. That's the NFL motto. Business is built on fucking. And brother, business is a boom fucking.
I don't know.
I don't remember that clip at all. It sounds like me. It sounds like something I would say. It's not like a phrase I throw around a lot. A business is boom fucking. But hey, maybe that's the merch. I just think it's funny. I like the idea of Greg, under the covers, listening to the old podcasts from years ago.
No, that was from when I was getting them ready for episode 200, and we never really got to that third clip. And it was from our old friend Antonio Brown, who we talked about more than anyone on the Rosenthal and Jeselnik Vanity project. RJVP.
People, Apple Podcasts thought that he was a third host because we talked about him so much.
And that was the first episode of JRVP. And yeah, it was back when his catchphrase was "business is booming," and they thought Le'Veon Bell fucked the team. I don't know. That's all. I like.
Le'Veon Bell fucked himself. Last week, Miss Kim was out of town. She was on vacation, so it was just me and Rummy for the most part, which I enjoyed. Get bonding with Rummy again, walking him in the morning like I haven't done in a while. Because Miss Kim has been handling that. So Rummy and I have been great. Went to the store, did a couple shows one night just to try out some new jokes I'm adding into the mix. But I'm when I'm on the road and I'm doing an hour once or twice a night for tons of money for hundreds of people who were just psyched to see me, that's so much fun. That going and dropping in and doing 15 minutes and a showcase show where people haven't even heard of me is not nearly as fun. So I kind of did that and was fine with it. But I like not doing that. I like having my time to myself when I'm home. But now again, the next 4 weeks, I'm off in clubs before I get a little more time off this summer. But the summer's filling up. I thought I was gonna have the whole summer off before I went out to theaters. But I've got a couple weeks here and there. But it's money making time. I gotta get myself a house. And then I watched. Have you guys ever seen Midsummer?
I want
Midsommar.
to, but I have not.
I can't believe I missed the boat on that. Aaron, have you seen it?
No.
You've seen Hereditary, right?
Yes, I have.
And you won't see Beau is Afraid. Like, I saw Hereditary, and when Midsommar came out, I was reading reviews and hearing people talk about it, and it sounded just okay. And I felt like I knew what was going to happen, so I'm like, you know what? I'll wait.
Really?
And
You thought you knew what was going to happen in that movie? It looks
just from
totally
the reviews.
confusing.
From the reviews,
yeah.
I was like, okay, like I get it. And then Liz was like, I love that movie. You've got to see it. And this weekend she went back to her place to hang out with some friends for a night. So I watched it, and it's incredible. The whole time I was watching it, I was mad I didn't see it in a theater. Would they ever like re-release it? There's a director's cut they'll put in theaters sometimes. I would absolutely go back and see it.
It was just playing. They had an Ari Aster not festival, but night or two at the theater near me where they play, older movies, and he was doing a Q&A and they played it, and that was your chance,
It's incredible. The sound is amazing. And it's the one movie I've ever seen where they do a drug sequence or several, and it didn't it's unnerving, it's fucked up, but it wasn't annoying. Like when people get drunk in movies or they do coke or something, it's just like, I don't want to watch this. But their tripping was incredible in a way that I found was very, very watchable, and loved Midsommar.
I want to see it. It's stupid I haven't seen it.
I've also have you guys ever seen the show Barry?
Yeah.
I had never watched it. I have friends who've written on it, and they kept telling me you're going to love it. And I waited, and then I binged it in the past 2 weeks, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I love Barry.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode when it came out, and then I haven't watched one since, which was stupid because I know it'll be better and pick up. And not that it was a bad episode.
Yeah, I get it.
You in on Succession?
Oh yeah, yeah. Love Succession, and Liz is into it too. Liz is like, I had to make her watch last season. She'd never watched the first two, and she's super into it. It's great.
The Shiv Tom scenes now, I feel like, have gone to another level where I feel like their relationship is my favorite relationship I can remember in a TV show.
It's funny. Did you? I don't know if you saw last night they did Bitey.
Yeah, when they played Bitey.
And I don't know if you guys know what Bitey is. It's when you like Greg and I did it all the time in college. Whenever we went out to a bar, we would just stand in the middle of the bar and do Bitey, and people loved it. Where you put your arms in each other's mouths and you bite down slowly, and whoever flinches first loses. And Greg won every time. I couldn't take it.
It's just like a way, if you've got some unresolved issues or a little, sexual chemistry, but you don't want to go too far. Mm-hmm. Bitey.
Aaron, can we do a three-way Bitey right now?
I don't know how I could capture it on film, but maybe I'll try it.
How else was it? Did you watch the entire draft at the NFL, or do you just show up for your shows?
We live streamed the first round. So for the first time, I never did that, where we were on for 4 straight hours, in a 90-degree room. So that tested us, tested our manhood, and we came through with flying colors. And then otherwise, yeah, we were watching it just like normal folks, and doing podcasts afterwards. Did it on Saturday and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Any big surprises?
It's one of those things where I've now done 20 years of drafts, and you got to catch yourself, because you can't love every part of your job equally. So I'm not being too hard on myself, but this is the time of year. Once you get past the draft, that's the best time of year. Right now through mid-July, that's kind of my off season. And the draft is you're just repeating, you're learning about these players, you're repeating the same things over and over. It gets a little tiresome. So you got to try to motivate yourself to be good and stay as focused as you can in your job, if you're doing the same thing year after year. So that's the draft for me. So now I feel very good to get to the other side.
Yeah. It's nice. Aaron, anything you want to talk about?
Comment.
I'm just so glad I don't have to care about the baseball draft at all.
No one cares about the baseball draft.
Right? Yeah.
You can have the first pick, and it's someone you've never fucking heard of, who's 19.
High school. Yeah.
You won't see him in the league for 10 years. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I'll go back and I'll watch these college, players and their tape and everything like that. But just the whole industry around the draft is somewhat tiresome and annoying. Just fans are really into it, almost they're too into it, where everyone's watching this defensive end from Texas Tech, and they would all his pass rush. It's you never do that for NFL players. No one's going back and watching TJ Watt's reps over and over, and yet they'll do it for all these players, and 2/3 of them don't really amount to to too much. So I always am like, these players are way worse. I'd rather watch some NFL.
I can't believe that people go to the draft to watch the draft. Like when I see those guys like cheering, you're like, you're waiting around for hours to just cheer for your team for 5 seconds and hope they pick someone. And after the first round, I don't know what the fuck they're doing there. I assume, where is it? Is the draft in the
I've
Vegas
gone to a
every
lot
year?
of drafts. I went to Vegas last year, which was fun. It was in Kansas City this year. I did not go.
I don't know. If they had it in Pittsburgh, maybe I would go. If I was like in Pittsburgh at the time, and they should do it in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will never get a Super Bowl. They should get a draft. It would be fun.
They'll give them a draft. My big draft though this week was like, Emeka got me the best present I've ever gotten in my life, which is these new bookshelves. I mean, it's for everyone, but essentially for me. And this new bomb-ass bookshelf. And so just like drafting, okay, what books are going to make it? We got to get rid of some books. What book, where am I going to put them all? That's what I've been focused on and enjoying the hell out of it.
I've got to do another culling of books. Speaking of books, thank you to Nine Banded Books, the publishing company Nine Banded Books. Chip sent me a whole box of books. He said, here are some books I think you may enjoy. And I was like, okay, what is it? I've never heard of any of these books, and they're all super fucked up. They're all about like dead kids and homicide and human nature and Jesus not existing. And I am into it. These are books that I will read at some point, and I will definitely have a place on my shelf. Like someone goes over to your house and they immediately, I always go to the bookshelf.
Yeah.
I don't like walk over to it, but I'm always looking to see like, what do they got? What are they reading here? And when you see these kind of books, you're gonna be like, I've got to leave. I'm gonna die, and I'm all for it. So thank you, Chip. Thank you to Nine Banded Books for the gift package. Send us more stuff. We love it.
Did you get a good spot on your bookshelf for the Jesus' Son? Have you taken it out of bubble wrap?
I have not. It's on my coffee table. It's in bubble wrap. I haven't really been able to, figure it out. But that will get a prime position. First edition, prime position. That's what I say. Aaron, what do I say?
First edition, prime position.
That's right. I say it all the time.
Always.
Yeah. I'm constantly saying it. You know what else I'm saying? Now it's time for Did We Get Any Notes?
Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes?
Here's some notes. Aaron's 15-minute movie reviews are over.
Stop.
No, it's over. Like, we've all agreed. It was like it wasn't like an Aaron's like, hey, here's my review this week, and I was like, no, you're done. You're sitting on the bench. They were bad.
Stop. They weren't bad.
It was. It's for Aaron to be like, I watched 15 minutes of a movie, I didn't like it. That's what everyone is going to be. They're all going to be exactly the same.
Well, what? No, he would like some
not.
if you gave some.
You can't like 15 minutes of a movie. You might be like, I like the 15 minutes, but we were sick of it. We were all sick of it.
You
and
were
the first
sick of
time
it.
he did it,
You love killing
Tar
the
was
segments.
bad. Tar was bad. Your Tar review was bad, and saying like I didn't like the movie because no main character showed up in 15 minutes when it was all main characters. How would you know? You only watched 15 minutes, so that's done. Stop asking about it. It's over. It never began.
But we had a theme song for it, though.
We just got a theme song.
Can we might as well play it the first and last time.
Play the theme song.
Sorry, Aaron, putting you on the spot. It's not as bad. I do like that new pirate.
It's time for Aaron's 15-minute review. Gift for everyone. Aaron watched the first 15 minutes of a movie that I tell him to watch.
All right. Well,
It's a very literal interpretation of the theme song there. I like it.
That's how good the segment was.
yeah.
That's over. Another thing I will say, notes. I will say thank you to our listeners. Big thank you. Last weekend I threw down the challenge. Go buy Jack Handy's book on his website.
Shit.
He will send it to you, or I will kill you all. And I said my goal was to get an email from Jack Handy immediately saying thank you. I woke up to a ton of orders, and that's exactly what happened. He emailed me the next day. He emailed me Wednesday morning and said, I woke up to a ton of new orders.
Wow.
I assume you have something to do with it. Thank you very much. And then today, emailed me again and was like, I've gotten so many orders that I want to send you something to thank you. Can I send you like a nice bottle of booze? And I was like, I'm off the booze. But it's a pleasure just to be able to help you out or just to spread the word about this amazing book. No thanks necessary. So thank you. That's all I ever wanted was for Jack Handy to be in my debt. And that's happened. So thank you guys. I hope everyone enjoys the book. I saw online on Twitter and stuff, people have already started getting their copies. It's a great book. It's very, very funny. You get Jack Handy's autograph, which I've thought about getting tattooed on my body, but he would be weirded out by that. Thank you for doing that.
I love that we're book influencers here. It does show the kind of power we have. We should be getting some book sponsorships or whatever.
Yeah, 9-banded books just fucking sponsored me.
I'm just saying, but like our ad reads should be for Audible or some shit.
Do you ask for? Do you ever ask for an advanced copy of a book when you like hear about a new book coming out?
I was for a while, and I do. We talk with the same lady from Penguin, Random House, I believe, or email sometime, and I talk with another lady. But now I've stopped asking for specific books because I just feel like I have so many books and it seems needy. And if I really want it, I should just get it myself, or
there's
get
some
it
books
as someone like suggested it to me.
I asked for like Bret Easton Ellis. I asked for that before it came out. As soon as I heard about it and got that, I asked for the new Cliff Nesteroff book that's coming out later this year about.
I mean, I want the new Brandon Taylor book.
Do not interrupt me. I already pre-ordered that one, and I asked for Stephen Wright's book, which we'll see if I get. It's coming out in a couple of weeks. I might just buy it with the day it comes out if I don't get a copy in advance. But if I'm really pumped about a book, I will ask for a copy. But then I'm going to talk it up on the podcast, so it's worth it to book companies to send us stuff.
Right, but so you pre-ordered the Brandon Taylor book, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
But if you get the advance copy, then you don't have to wait.
I get it sent to my Kindle. When I'm on the road, I can't read physical books. It's got to be Kindle. Okay. So everything's Kindle. If you send me an advance copy, I will read it, and then buy it on Kindle. If I get a book for free, I'm also buying it. I have several copies of the new Bret Easton Ellis because I just like to support. I want that hardcover.
I am gonna buy the Jack Handy. I've meant to. I really am going to. If you were me, or if I was me,
Which you are.
Yeah. Should I mention to Jack Handy that I'm your co-host in the little thing?
Sure.
Like I want that, and should that be in the inscription, or do I just just act like?
I was surprised that he listened. I told him I mentioned it on my podcast, and then today when he emailed me, he said I listened to the podcast. Thank you so much for your kind words, which is crazy that Jack Handy is listening to our podcast. So yeah, go ahead and mention.
Okay.
I mean, he's if he's not 80, he's close to it. I don't know if he gives a flying fuck what your co-host of. I bet he listens to Around the NFL.
I'm sure he does it. I'm just saying, is that dorky, or would it be fun to see if he does the inscription with some allusion to that?
I said the one someone tweeted that they got their copy
Stop
already.
calling him 80, by the way. He's 74 years old.
Oh, excuse me, all to hell.
That's a pretty big difference. That'd be like calling you 50.
Go for it. Knock yourself out. I don't think he's really into podcasts, is what I'm saying, is my point. It's not a knock. It's just an observation. But whoever sent me a picture of their copy with his inscription, they had asked him to inscribe JRVP. So yeah, go for it.
Okay.
But yeah, get that book. Make them work.
Is the new book a direct sequel to the previous? Or?
Direct sequel.
Okay, so
you don't have to read you don't have to have read the first one. It's so silly, and you pick it up. But he references the first one. It's very funny. Yeah. Wrong way slurps. I'm all about it. And that was. Did we get any notes? I thought you may have had a note. That's why.
Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes?
Now it's time to take it down to a little place that's damn near 80 itself. It's Email Corner.
Email Corner. Emails are a thing. Emails. Email Corner. Emails. It's Email Corner.
Guys, emails are a thing. I don't know how many episodes I've got to nail that point home before you get it, but emails are a thing. Aaron, what are emails?
They're a thing.
That's a fact. Undisputed. We like to take a little time to let the listeners, the viewers, if you will, if you're man enough to go on YouTube and check it out. You email us at jrvpjuniorvicepresident@gmail.com. Miss Kim looks at them. Miss Kim sends them to me. I narrow them down. I send them to Greg, and then we read them on the air, and we answer your questions.
So you weren't going through all the emails this week with her on vacation, right?
No, she sent it. She
still did that.
She got back Saturday.
Okay. And
then sent them to me on Sunday.
Yeah, and if you are watching on YouTube, smash that like button. I just like when they say that. I like when my kids are, watch a lot of YouTube. And you can check out my new sweatshirt. I was expecting Anthony to roast me for this bright orange Dole sweatshirt. Shout out to Dole. You should sponsor us with this.
Dole, if you want to send sweatshirts, go ahead. I'm a Chiquita boy. And I'm not going to apologize.
I don't know why I'm picking up the ads. Let's talk emails.
If it ain't Chiquita, it's a dick you just peeled.
Went to Dole when we were in Hawaii. They got I forget what the name of it is, but the like Dole soft serve stuff.
The Dole Whip.
Dole Whip. That's it. He knew it.
Was it ice cream?
It's good.
Never heard of it. I've never been to Hawaii.
Essentially, it's good. I mean, you can find it elsewhere.
Yeah,
but,
you can get it at Disneyland. I think
this
it's a
was
big
at
thing.
the original, the Plantation. Bart Zimmer asks, how would you handle this situation? Bart, this really cracks me up. So there's a person in his office who complains about the smell of his lunch, of Bart's lunch. 7 total people in the office. This is because I put fermented garlic and sauerkraut on it. I've tried getting sealed containers so the fridge won't smell, getting an air purifier on the company's credit card, and today after heating my lunch in the kitchen microwave, I tried walking out of the office through the back door with my food and in through the front door to avoid going by this person's desk. Nothing helps, apparently. I feel bad because this person has migraines. And I think the smell might make them worse. This person suggested I get a separate fridge and microwave, but I don't want to do that. There's not enough space. I don't want a kitchen in my office. Also, my office is the same distance from the person's desk as the kitchen anyways. Am I in the wrong? What should I do? I'm not willing to not eat what I want for lunch.
Okay. Bart Zimmer, you are so wrong. You are the most wrong that I have ever heard anyone being. Every day, you put fermented garlic and sauerkraut in your lunch. You're eating the same thing every day. There's no defense for what you do. If you did this once a week, it would be wrong. To do it every day is insane. To think that you would, like, if they're asking you to get a separate microwave and fridge just for your lunch, it's bad. I get it. Sauerkraut is delicious. Fermented garlic sounds great. Eat that shit for dinner. If you ate that before you went into work, it would be wrong. But to bring it in every day and to have your coworker complain that you're giving them migraines, you are wrong. Do not do this at work. You should be fired for this.
I think, like in certain states, like in Texas, I think you could get shot for this, and it would be legal.
I guarantee someone's been shot in Texas for this. And I think having sauerkraut in Texas is a hate crime. And listen, I love sauerkraut. I love these things. You should not have an odorous lunch, and definitely not the same lunch every day. That's what's crazy. Are you putting sauerkraut and fermented garlic on different things, or you just eat the same dish for lunch? Because you got to think about the people around you. It is unconscionable.
Fermented garlic, like, I don't know what exactly that would smell like. I have an idea, just because I know what fermented food smells like, and garlic. Like, you can't make a smellier lunch than sauerkraut and fermented garlic. It really cracked me up because he was acting like he was really putting in extra effort because he finally came up with the idea to, like, walk through the back door and then in through the front door to avoid the desk. Like, no, that was the least you could do, and you waited too long to do it. When I eat fish, when I eat salmon at work, sometimes I will eat at my desk. I don't eat too much at work anymore, and I certainly don't eat at my desk too much at work. But when I eat fish at work, I know I got to eat that in the cafeteria. I don't go to my desk and do it. I pretty much don't bring any food that would have any odor to my desk because I know it could and would bother people. I know people it would bother. So that time you take the slight L. You just wait, and eat in a place that is, maybe just go outside. I mean, that's another option.
You shouldn't have to do that. If that's what your lunch is, you got to change your lunch. Make yourself a sandwich, bro. We're talking about lunch, and the same thing every day. That's crazy. Your coworkers must hate you so much. That shit comes through your pores after you eat it.
Well, it told me a lot because it it took so long for him to get to, am I in the wrong? What should I do? And then the last sentence kind of answered his own question. I'm not willing to not eat what I want for lunch. So I mean,
why do you want to eat
says
that
a
every
lot.
day? Why do you want? I love sauerkraut. I've never had sauerkraut. I'm like, I don't want to be eating this, but I couldn't imagine doing it every day. You are insane. You should lose your job.
I mean, I don't think it's insane to eat the same thing. It's a little weird to eat the same thing every day, and that is a
When
weird
it's
one.
aggressive, it is. If you walk across the street to
Right.
Jimmy John's every day, okay. But if you're bringing that in, your coworkers want you to die.
Right. The quote, I'm not willing to not eat what I want for lunch, tells me you're not really taking other people into consideration when you're in a public space, which you should try to do. Like, don't be bringing that shit on the subway either. Just breaking out the old sour. I don't mean the company. I mean, on the way to work.
You may as well be like, hey, my coworkers are complaining that I keep shitting in the garbage can. Stop doing that. There's no defense. It's bad.
All right. Our
Hope he's
next.
brushing his teeth.
Yeah.
That's a good call too. I have gone next level in my old age. Emika says I'm turning into like her mom, like a Japanese grandmom here, because I now bring in floss and brush into work.
Really?
Yeah,
I floss
especially
every day.
floss.
I floss every day, but I do it in the evening. I don't bring it with me.
Well, because I get I don't know. I get stuff. I got to be on air too or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I get stuff stuck in my teeth. I don't brush too much at work, but here and there. And I don't know. It makes me feel better. I'm not suggesting people need to do that, but I do it and I like it.
Also, no one should ever eat at their desk.
Yeah, that's probably a fair point. I used to work in a newsroom which had limited, in the NFL had limited seating at their cafeteria, and the work expectations of like you were on. If you were on, you were on, and like if breaking news was happening, you kind of sit there. But I'm with you. That should probably be eliminated.
Every job I've had, I've eaten at my desk. Whether I was an accounting clerk or a comedy writer, like I always ate at my desk. Everyone did. I don't have a problem with that. But if it's like an aggressive smell and it's every day, you're insane.
All right, our next question. I don't have her name, but you'll know who you are because you signed it. Philly's finest, John.
She, her.
Parentheses, she, her. Yeah, I love Philly. I love John. It's a long one. I'm gonna try to boil this one down.
Boil it down.
Long story short, her brother and herself, both big fans of you. They live. She lives in Philadelphia. The brother lives in Chicago. He bought tickets as a present for two to your show in Chicago. And she is wondering, while she appreciates the gift and the thought, should she fly herself out there to see it, or should she wait to see you when you come to Philly? They're both kind of expensive, and the flight would be expensive.
Yeah, these are two different questions. Can you see me in Chicago and then see me in Philly again? Yeah, I think you're not going to lose anything. It'll be great. I will be coming to Philly for sure next year, most likely to film my special. I'm thinking about the different cities I could film in, and that might change. Something might come up where it's like, oh, you should do it here. But I'm thinking Philly. Gambling, that's like your best odds are for me to go to Philly.
And she pushed hard. She said
Yes.
she was making the
That's at
case
the
for
end.
you to go to Philly.
Yeah, I don't need your argument. I love Philadelphia. I love doing shows there, and that's where I'm thinking about the special. But your brother got you a bad present. Because when you give someone a present where they have to now like spend more money than the present cost to accept the present, that's bad. If he'd bought you tickets to like these 2 tickets in Philadelphia, which he could not have done, sure. If he got you tickets and a flight, that's nice too. But to be like, I got the tickets, now come meet me here, it's too much work. That I would be like, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Maybe, plan a visit if you want to see your brother, go to the show, and then get tickets in Philly and have him come meet you. Make it a double thing. You're going to enjoy both shows. But again, this is a bad present. Don't feel bad about being like, hey, I appreciate that you got the tickets, but I can't fly out there for this. It's too much. Think next time.
It's also a lot of time. It's one thing going to a show. She would love to do that, but you got to find 2 or 3 days to go over to Chicago. Might not have 2 or 3 days.
It's a lot. But again, if you do go, you will have a great time. I'm not saying don't go. I'm saying your brother should have put more thought into it than just like, I got the tickets here, come meet me.
She also asked about a comment Nikki Glazer made in her last stand-up special. She says, While men and women both say that they're looking for someone with a good sense of humor in a romantic partner, women want a man who can make them laugh, and men want a woman who laughs at their jokes. As a comedian and general thirst trap, what do you think of this concept?
I think it's a fascinating concept. I remember when she said this, that everyone says they want a good sense of humor, but yeah, women want a guy who makes them laugh, and men want a woman who laughs at their jokes. That's what they consider a great sense of humor. A woman can be funny, but if they don't think if they don't think the guy's funny, they're like, oh, she doesn't have a good sense of humor. That I think that's fascinating, and I agree with it 100%. I know a lot of female comics who are single and are trying to date, and it's so hard because the guy finds out they're a comedian. I remember one woman was telling me that a guy was like, I can't do this. They've been on like a few dates, dated for a couple months, and she was like, why? And he was like, I need to be the funny one. And she goes, but you're not funny. Like, you don't even try to, you're just not a funny person. No one would ever describe you as funny. And the guy goes, I know. I just have to be the funny one. Like, guys get really intimidated by funny women. It's a harder road to hoe, if you will. But I think it's fascinating, and I agree 100% with that.
Man, it's too bad. I mean, I'm only going to live this one life as far as I know. But in another life, and if I was in a different multiverse, like I would love a funny woman where she was the funny one. Give it to me.
Yeah, I think it shows like an insecure guy who's like, I've got to be funnier. I need to be making the jokes all the time. Like, I don't want to be doing that all the time. Do I make Liz laugh a lot? Yes. Does she make me laugh a lot? Not a lot, but she does make me laugh. I do find her funny. I will laugh at that, but I think it's just insecurity. It's like if you're dating a woman who's like a professional athlete and you're just some guy and you're mad that she's stronger than you. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Just enjoy what you have.
Yeah, they did ask for our. She did ask for our thoughts too, Aaron, and I agree with the theory in general, based on most of the men I know. But I would say too, if like your partner, if you have one for a long time, if you're lucky enough, like myself, it gets harder and harder to make them laugh over time, and so I embrace that challenge. If I have a running joke that's been clanking for the last 4 or 5 years, just keep hammering it. Mm-hmm. It might turn around.
Every comic I know who's like married, their wife does not give a fuck about their comedy. Like they are so sick of it and they love them, but it's almost impossible to make them laugh. Luckily, I'm a god, and I can always make Liz laugh.
Even making my Ellis laugh is getting harder. You know,
I don't think I've ever made your kids laugh.
It's not cool to think dad's cool anymore.
Thank God you've got that Ask Me What My Butthole t-shirt, because otherwise...
Walker will still laugh. All right, our last one, she's a therapist, by the way, so thanks for that email. I feel like we're big with the therapist community. Our last one's from Matt. He asks, do you have a perspective on conservative comedians like Dennis Miller or Nick DiPaolo? What do you think about ones that cater to a particularly conservative audience?
I find that I can tell if they believe what they're saying or if they're just pandering. Do you know what I mean? And I think Nick DiPaolo 100% believes what he's saying and is tortured by it, is figuring himself out. And I think that's what makes Nick DiPaolo amazing. I wouldn't even call him like a right-wing comic, even though I would not argue against the description. I think Nick is just being honest and trying to get his feelings and thoughts out. But Nick is a great guy. I can watch him and not feel like he's just like he's smashing some button to get the reaction from the right. Dennis Miller, I loved Dennis Miller back in the day. Huge influence on me. The Black and White special is one of the best specials of all time. And he'd said like after 9/11, he went hard right and really laid into it. That his comedy annoys me now. But again, I do believe that he believes it. If you're a Christian comedian, and you're talking about Christianity, if I think that you believe in what you're saying, I'm okay with it. If you're pandering, then I feel like I can tell, and that's what annoys me. So there are a lot of comics now, especially, who pander to the right, who just do it because it's like a built-in audience already, and they can just like, if you failed in regular comedy, you can go hard right and have a second career, and those people all fucking suck. But they're all bad comics anyway. It's not what they're talking about. It's how they talk about it that I think is hot garbage.
I randomly was looking at, I saw the New York Times bestseller list last week, and then the number 3 nonfiction book is a book called You Can't Joke About That. And it's the host of some Fox show that is giving her take on free speech in comedy. Kat Timpf, are you aware of this? Well, that's such an annoying concept.
I love when people talk about free speech in comedy. This is America. Everyone's got that shit. No one buys a ticket to hear your free speech. They want to laugh. It's anytime a comic mentions free speech, they're dead in the water to me, their argument. But again, being a comedian on the right is not necessarily a game ruiner for me, but I have to believe you, and I feel like I can tell.
All right, last one. It's also from Matt. Another plane going down question. A lot of plane going down questions over the years. We're the lone survivors. How long do you think you would last before either A, had sex with each other, or B, one of you ate each other, and who is fucking or eating whom?
Okay, I would not eat Greg. I just read a book about, I'll recommend it in a couple weeks probably, a book about a shipwreck and they had to resort to cannibalism eventually. I would not do that. I feel like you're going to die anyway.
It's bones and all.
It's bones and all. For eating someone when they're like still alive, you're not even that hungry, you just eat them. That's different. That's like you're bored, or you're like a cannibal vampire, which is fine. But I think that if Greg and I crashed on an island, I think we would have sex. I think I would be on top, but I would wait until like right before we hit the ground. And that was Email Corner. And now it's time for
Ad copy.
All right, Tommy John, it's here for spring. Time of year when you go from freezing your boys off to sweating them off. Unless you live in Santa Monica. I mean, am I right? It's been cold for 4 straight months. Let's crank it up here, California.
Listen, Tommy John is the underwear of choice for the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project.
JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
I fucked up. Listen, I this is all I have. It's all I wear. It's so goddamn comfortable. It's all I ever want to wear. It's great. I mean, I've been in very cold weather on the road. I've been sweating like crazy, and my underwear has never bothered me. And I feel like I don't give Tommy John the credit that I should. That if I was wearing any other underwear, I would be like, oh, this is annoying down there. I don't get, my crotch is in heaven all the time. It doesn't matter what's going on out there. Guys, get one pair. If you're listening to this, women, if you're listening to this, get it for someone you know. They will never forget you. It is game-changing underwear.
It changed my life. I tried it out, and then I just ordered like 10 of them, and now I'm Tommy John for life. And I am someone, not a big sweater really anywhere else, but I would sweat there. It's perfect. It's comfortable.
Oh, I know.
When you wear Tommy John, you're that much more comfortable. You can do everything better. It has dozens of comfort innovations like breathable, lightweight, moisture-wicking fabric with 4 times the stretch of competing brands. Tommy John doesn't have customers. They have fanatics like Anthony and I, with over 20 million pairs sold, thousands of 5-star reviews. Everyone loves their Tommy Johns. No more flopping, sticking, or chafing. Chafing is a problem. Springtime, it's the best time to cover your butt with Tommy John. The best pair you'll ever wear, or it's free. They guarantee it. Get 20% off your first order at TommyJohn.com/JRVP. Again, save 20% right now at TommyJohn.com/JRVP. TommyJohn.com/JRVP. See the site for details. Aura. It's here. Anthony, have you ever searched your name on a search engine?
Oh, fuck yeah, every day.
If not, you may be surprised by the amount of personal information that's available online. You can find full legal name, email, home address, phone numbers, all that easily found online. It's very easy for data brokers to scrape public tax records, sell that information, and it's all legal, which is very annoying. There was over 1,800 data breaches last year, exposed personal information for over 422 million individuals. I'm telling you all that because of Aura. We're thrilled to partner with Aura. It's an all-in-one online safety solution that helps protect you and your family from identity theft, financial fraud, and online threats before they happen. The app scans the dark web to look for your email addresses, passwords, and everything out. else that's out there. And if you're a victim, their experienced white glove fraud resolution team will help you navigate credit bureaus, help you initiate credit freezes, or lock and work with you around the clock to resolve all your problems. They can also reduce annoying robocalls, telemarketers, and junk mail by sending takedown requests on your behalf regularly.
The government's not going to help you. They pass laws that you can't do this, and people just do it anyway. Get Aura and protect yourself.
For a limited time, Aura is offering our listeners a 14-day trial plus a check of your data to see if your personal information has been leaked online. That's all for free when you visit aura.com/JRVP. Aura.com/JRVP to sign up for a 14-day trial and start protecting you and your loved ones. That's AURA.com/JRVP. Certain terms apply, so be sure to check the site for details. The only terms that apply to AG1 by Athletic Greens is it's delicious and it's nutritious and it's a one-stop shop for vitamins, and I'm downing it every morning.
Every morning. I haven't missed a morning since I started. I don't know if it's been a year yet, but it's great on the road. I get the little packets. I take them with me. And just every morning, first thing I do, I wake up, I go downstairs, drink my Athletic Greens, have a couple other vitamin things I take at the time. And I know it's not like a meal replacement, but it makes it so much easier to wait to have breakfast in the morning, to go and walk the dog, get stuff done. I know I'm taking care of myself. And because of Athletic Greens and the vitamins and minerals, I haven't gotten sick since the last time I got sick. And that's got to be Athletic Greens.
It's powerful because it's so easy. All the different vitamins in one place. We noticed we were on our last bag of Athletic Greens this morning. Now, granted, I noticed, okay, Emeka, relax. We've got a couple months worth of those travel packs because they've piled up over time. And, so we've got that in reserves. But she's so used to having them. It's just such a big part of her life that we getting down to this last bag. It's like a crack addict that's fiending. She's worried that the bag's going to run out.
Your wife's spoiled. She gets to go to one hockey game, and now nothing's good enough.
So if you're listening out there, Athletic Greens or JRVP, I don't know, ad sales department, I'm ready for another batch. If you're looking for an easier way to take supplements, Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/JRVP. That's athleticgreens.com/JRVP. Check it out.
And that was
Ad copy.
Let's get to headlines.
Let's get the headlines. Let's get the headlines. Let's get the headlines.
We got some good ones this week.
Yeah, I was excited when I saw this first one. It's about conjoined twin sisters. And look, when you're conjoined twin sisters, like Lupita and Carmen Andrade, you share almost everything. You share a pelvis, a reproductive system. You split one seat on the plane. That's a fact. But what you don't share is a boyfriend. Carmen is dating a young man, 22-year-old named Daniel. Lupita, not so much. Lupita is asexual.
Okay, no, she's not. Okay, maybe she's not that into it. But the headline is, we're conjoined twins, but only one of us has a boyfriend. You both have a boyfriend. And if this is true, if only one of them has the boyfriend, that boyfriend is cheating on you with your conjoined sister. I don't care if she's asexual. What does that mean when you're conjoined? Do you just put in earplugs and a mask? Or are you watching TV? Are you scrolling something? Because you're both getting effed. In case kids are listening, I don't want to say fucked. We're both getting effed. Aaron, do you know what effed means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It's fucked.
That's right.
Well, the kids just heard that.
Yeah.
We were talking about that we were watching some hockey. Now I got into hockey, watching a little Bruins. Walker was watching it too. And we kept saying the word puck. And he was like, you can't say that. That's a bad word. I'm like, that's not a bad word. He's like, but it's so close to the worst word. And I was like, it's still not a bad word.
Yeah.
You can say puck. Just wanted to tell the kids out there if there was any confusion.
You can say puck.
Yeah.
You can say puck.
It's totally different. It does worry me that, I guess it's what happens. They know words.
Don't let him find out about Chuck. It's going to throw him into a whole crisis.
So it was funny reading some of the quotes in the article because Carmen was saying, it's funny because sometimes she stays up later than Lupita. And as a reminder, Lupita dating Daniel. No, Lupita's asexual. Carmen's dating Daniel. And Carmen sometimes stays up later than Lupita when Daniel sleeps over. And like the one that actually is dating him, she falls asleep. And then it's just the sister, the asexual sister, and Daniel just hanging out. And they're just talking and they're saying, oh, that's funny. But she likes Daniel too. Like,
And it's good that she likes him, but there's no way Daniel likes Lupita.
What are you talking
listen,
about?
no matter who you are, how good a guy you are, no matter how what your deal is, everyone dislikes their girlfriend's friends at some point. I'm not saying they hate them all the time, but you definitely get sick of them being around, and she's always around. She's always there. That I bet he must grow to hate her.
Yeah, but it's a little different, like a friend or even a sister, than someone who's literally
It's worse.
sharing a sternum and a pelvis, and
It's
they each
worse.
have one leg.
It's worse.
Or I guess they each have one leg, or they share two legs. I don't know how that works. But there's only two legs.
I get it. I get it. I mean, I don't.
Stop saying there's three or four legs. There's two.
I want to know, like, how did they meet? Like, how did he decide which one he was more into? Was he more into the asexual one? And then he was like, oh, you're not into it? Okay. Do you have a sister? You
Okay.
do? She's right here? I'm
So
in.
They seem very nice. I love their outlook on life. They say, look, they've never not been together.
What?
So they don't miss, what it would like to be separate. And they say they're happy. They get along really well. They never fight. And they say they put themselves on dating apps a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And Daniel was the first one, and on the app and in person, that just like doesn't bring it up. So it's like everyone else they thought basically has like a weird fetish, but Daniel just seemed to just like Carmen, who's got the nose ring. She has the nose ring. Lupita doesn't, and so he didn't. But when I heard that, I was kind of like, okay, he didn't mention it, but it's definitely like on his mind on some level.
Listen, Daniel's got a fetish. He just handled it better than the other guys, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. If you're into someone, like, physical attraction is a huge thing in any relationship. It doesn't matter if you're into, like heavier women, or you're into like a certain skin color, whatever it is. As long as you're cool about it, that's fine. He's got a fetish. No one swipes right on conjoined twins unless they have a fetish and follows through with it. I don't know how long they've been dating. And listen, I'm not shaming anyone. I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm sure other people are making fun of all these people involved. But good for them. You have a boyfriend. If the asexual one, Lupita, wants to say she's a virgin, she cannot. She's lying. She's gotten laid.
I just like, I think Lupita and Carmen, they can really like move the conjoined twin sort of reputation movement, I would say, like forward after the huge setback that was the 2003 movie Stuck on You, starring Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear.
Yeah, that wasn't a great movie. What about the chicks who were on a reality show?
Was that a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aaron, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There was a reality show about I thought these might have been the same ones, but I guess they're different conjoined twins. I think they were joined at the head. I don't know where these ones are joined.
They're sort of joined at, they're joined at the head. Yeah. That's partly why they can't be separated. I mean, they're also joined, they're sharing a sternum and a pelvis, as I said, too. Reproductive organs. There's a couple crazy things.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I guess a lot of it's crazy.
With conjoined twins, no shame. I want to know, first thing I want to know about conjoined twins, what do you do for Halloween? What do you dress up as? I'm curious.
Greg Kinnear and Matt Damon from Stuck on You.
Sure.
Year after year.
Careful getting on that bus. That's all I know about this movie.
The only thing I know is Tom Brady was in it, and Lawyer Malloy, former Patriot safety. They both want to work in the veterinary industry, but Lupita also has hopes of becoming a comedy writer.
I love it. I don't know what to say. I just think, I feel like anyone, if you're a good person, anytime you talk to them, you're just like, yep, sounds good.
So
like, if they pitch jokes, you'd have to be like, yeah, I love it. I'll do all those.
Yeah, and what if the other one is not into it? I guess she's just in the room and they can't be at two jobs at once. It would,
I wanna
if
know
they
more
both
about
wanna be
Daniel.
in so the crazy thing I was alluding to before, which is just something no one will ever know about except for conjoined twins, apparently, is they can feel each other's feelings. Like, if one of them is really afraid, the other one can feel it, even if they weren't like afraid in that scenario. Like, if there's a dog there and one's like afraid of a dog and the other one's fine with dogs, the conjoined, the twin says, like, there's something in her that's like, I can feel that she's feeling that, even though I'm not feeling that, which is just kind of a wild
That's how
situation.
regular twins are too.
I mean, but it's probably like ramped up a little extra if you're sharing.
If one's afraid, the
Yeah,
other
you
one's going to
know.
be afraid too because they're right next to each other. They're seeing the same dog.
What if Daniel, like, gets them, like, one of them, like, they're both into Daniel. Like, you couldn't hide it, is all I'm saying.
Why would you? I
guess-
guarantee Daniel's dream is that the other one like stops being asexual and they have a three-way.
I guess, yeah. I mean, isn't that, I don't know. Isn't that happening anyways?
Kind of. I don't know if they have two vaginas. I don't know
I
how
think now
oral
they
works.
share the reproductive organs, it said. Reproductive system. But I don't know. I guess we've dug too deep.
I want to know more about Daniel. Daniel, write a book. Write a book and give it to Nine Banded Books and have them put it out. I'll tell you what, it's less weird for Daniel to be dating conjoined twins than it is for that one dude to be dating the Shauna Ray, the little girl.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
A British man has pled guilty to causing
Tell me,
unnecessary
Greg,
suffering.
tell me you're dating conjoined twins.
I'm dating conjoined twins.
How old are they?
22.
That's my only question.
A British man has pled guilty to causing unnecessary suffering to a wild bird after admitting to perform, quote, a, quote, bizarre sex act on a seagull. Which raises the question, like, what's a normal sex act for a human?
What's the normal one? Like, hey, it was a little too weird. You got to go to jail for that. A seagull. Listen, they're hot birds. Aaron, what's the hottest bird?
Ooh, bald eagle?
Toucan.
Come on.
Toucan. Oh,
What?
Toucan.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
No way. That's a goofy little bitch.
Hey, don't kink shame me. You know what they say? The
Cardinal. I thought you were going Cardinal, like the baseball team, because that's a sexy little bird. I like my bird small.
like a hummingbird. Hummingbirds are good. Yeah, seagull would be the last bird I'd have sex with. The last bird.
Yeah.
It's something's wrong with this guy. If
Yeah.
he's going after seagulls. And you know how hard it is to catch a seagull? And what did he do to it? Was it like,
They're like carrying the trash out of the ocean and stuff. You really want to mess with that?
Was he doing stuff to the seagull? Was he making the seagull do stuff to him? You read the article. What happened?
So there was footage which was showed in court, which showed the defendant kneeling down in an alleyway in Sunderland. So that's in the UK at around 1 a.m. with the wild bird between his legs.
Okay.
So yeah.
Let's go for a ride.
I've got a picture. So he found it at night. Like he was just in the alley. He would have had sex with anything. And it happened to be a seagull crossing his path. Was the seagull alive? Like I would think a live seagull and a dead seagull would be very similar experiences.
They were alive. I don't know. I mean, one you would think, would resist, would be trying to get away. I don't know. I mean, even just holding a bird seems like they're obviously trying to get away. He said he told the police that he thought it was hurt and that he was looking on his phone to find out what he should do. But they actually checked his phone records at the time, and instead of searching for a vet's phone number, as he claimed, police checks revealed he had actually been looking at porn sites on his phone while holding the bird.
Okay. I mean, this story even got weirder. Like the fact that he's like, you would think if he was looking at like bird porn and having sex with a bird, okay.
Maybe he's having human.
You gotta
maybe he's
spice
looking
it
at
up.
human bird porn. I don't know.
I just think it's got to be something better to have sex with than a seagull if you're looking at person porn, people porn.
Maybe it was just like this seagull. He's actually a totally normal guy, but this seagull was just hot as fuck.
It's possible. I mean, maybe the seagull was asking for it. What's a seagull doing in an alley at 1 a.m? No, it's up to no good for sure. I just think if the police catch you having sex with a seagull and it was hurt, I was trying to help it, is a hilarious defense.
Especially when they check and find out. Yeah, he was looking at porn. He was sentenced. I'm not really sure for what, but one thing is that he will not be allowed to own animals in the future.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a good thing. I got to think this is not the first time he's done this. Because if you get caught, if you have sex with a seagull once and you get caught that first time, that's bad luck.
Yeah.
If you're having sex with seagulls all the time and you get caught, it's bound to happen sooner or later. That I hope they throw the book at him. I don't know what is worse than the public shame. Because in the UK, like, he can't go into a pub for the rest of his life because he's the seagull fucker. I don't know what name they've come up with for him, but it's going to be a good one.
I mean, I don't think this was like front of BBC World News or anything. I don't know.
Listen, they know. It's like, oh, check out Jonathan fucking Livingston over here coming into the pub for a pint. Stay out of the alleyway. Did you get the Jonathan Livingston?
No, I don't get it.
Aaron, do you get Jonathan Livingston?
No.
But you know what? I bet the listeners do. I'm not going to explain it. What's the next word that comes after Jonathan Livingston?
Seagull?
Yes. It was a book about a seagull. It was one of Kobe Bryant's favorite books. I read it after he died. It's about like a seagull who doesn't fit in. And so he has sex with a guy in an alley.
Texas.
Was that short? Did you just...
That's
that one's
only 4
always short.
seconds, yeah.
Short one?
That one's always short.
I'll bring back the 15-minute review, Aaron, if you don't fucking fly straight.
Bringing Seagull in there. I thought you might give the Seagull the listener of the week for the first time.
I got one coming up.
Non-human. Maybe it's this Texas man who was on a date recently when something else came up. It's always awkward when that happens. You know, do you continue the date or do you take a quick break from the date to kill a parking attendant who scammed you out of $40 early in the evening? It's a tough call, but Eric Aguirre went for the murder.
This is how insane gun violence is in this country. Like, listen, there have horrible things happen this week that we're not going to get into because we're a comedy podcast. Guns are a problem in the country. I think we can all agree. It's an issue at best. It's fucked up. I'm not a gun guy. Greg's not a gun guy. Aaron has a bunch of them, but we don't let him bring it in to the podcast studio. We're afraid of them.
That you know.
The idea that you would be on, I think it's the first date, that you would, like, he must have been trying to impress the date. That he would think it was cool to not go and argue about the $40 that the guy took, but to go and kill him and then come back and sit down in the restaurant and tell her you killed him and then keep on flirting is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Did he get the $40 back? Was he like, here's your 20, I killed the guy?
Okay, so what happened? I mean, I don't know if he even told her that he killed her, but she just saw that he left, fired his gun, and then came back into the restaurant and didn't say a word about it. But, you know, she saw it happen. So what happened was a guy was doing a scam where he charged them $20 each, which is just funny, for parking.
Did they both? I assume they both parked. I know it was like, I assume they drove and met at the restaurant.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
And he was like, it's $20. He was like, I'll pay for both.
I thought it was $20 per person. Yeah, he parked at the restaurant. It was $40 total. And then when he got into the restaurant, and my guess is he probably complained about the parking or something, and they were like, no, we don't have a parking attendant. That guy just scammed you. And yeah, then at that point, they were sitting down, and then he left, and he went and shot the guy. I don't know if he didn't say a word. He went back into the restaurant. People were acting a little funny about it, and so they actually did get up and went to a different restaurant, which is also funny.
That's what you would be like. I think that guy just killed the parking lot attendant scammer out there. And first of all, the parking attendant scammer, you got to leave after you get that $40. You can't be sitting around hoping nobody asks any questions. You got to get out of it. That's why parking lot scammers is not a good job. But to go kill the guy, did he walk up and argue with him, or did he just walk up and shot him?
So someone nearby at a smoke shop, I guess in the same shopping center or nearby, said he saw Aguirre nonchalantly walk back to his car with a gun in his hand, put the gun back in his car. Oh, that was when he was returning the car. So I think he shot the guy in the parking lot. Then he just walked back to his own car, threw the gun back in the car, and calmly just walked back into the restaurant. They ended up changing restaurants, but he tried to continue the date. The guy who was shot was taken to the hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. And she just after whatever the date was ended, immediately went to the police and told them everything.
I heard she went 2 days later.
Oh, really?
Which I wonder if she didn't. She must have figured it out. The fact that she stayed in the restaurant is insane.
I messed that up.
She must have just been being And so, what else do you do? What else do you like to do for fun? To continue the date is crazy. But I understand women are afraid. She's like, I might be next if I end this date right now. I wonder if they hooked up at the end of the night. Did he get the kiss? Because if he's driving, I assume they're in two different cars. Does she kiss him? How do you finish that meal?
Did she get off on it? Was it a little oh, you'll do anything? Because now I'm realizing I misinterpreted her role in this. She didn't do it till 2 days later after they released photos identified by tips to Crime Stoppers. And now her lawyer saying she wants to do the right thing. It's no, you don't. You kind of knew what happened and you covered it up for a couple days.
I think that she could be in shock. She doesn't know what to do. It's you don't know how to I'm okay with her waiting a couple days. Because there's a whole restaurant of people who saw this shit happen. There's many witnesses. It's not like she had to come forward. They would have caught him anyway. I'm not blaming the woman. I just think it's an insane situation, an insane date. And this guy, I don't know what's going to happen to him, but it's not good. It's not good first date behavior. You know how the worst red flag on a date is being mean to a waiter? If you're on a date and they're rude to the waiter, you're I don't want to be with someone like you. If you get up and kill a fake parking lot attendant,
it's worse.
That's a red flag. That's the biggest red flag there is.
Last headline.
I'm excited about this one.
Me too.
It's about a voluptuous statue of a mermaid in the Italian village of Puglia in southern Italy. And it's created a stir for being too provocative because of the voluptuous, curvy renderings of said mermaid. It appears that village cannot handle that ass.
Have you seen the mermaid?
Yeah,
Aaron,
you can too.
Aaron, do we have a picture?
We do have a picture.
Okay, that's the back. All right, it's wild that the mermaid has an ass at all. No mermaid has ever had a butt before. They don't have butts.
It's not just any butt. That is
yeah.
It's juicy.
That is an unbelievable butt. And do we have a front of the mermaid?
We do. We do have a picture, and you guys can check it out.
The mermaid
YouTube.
has got bombs. And she's folding her arms in front to accentuate the bombs. There's no seashells over those bombs. It's just straight up bombs. It was he just wanted to have he wanted to make a statue to Megan Thee Stallion, but he'd already started the mermaid and was like, fuck it, let me just combine the two. I don't know why they have a mermaid statue there at all. What are they commemorating there? But it's the most Italian shit I've ever seen. This is why I don't think that the Italian people in the town are upset about the statue. I think it's got to be tourists coming in and talking about it. Is anyone actually mad, or are they just look at this thing?
No, I don't think there's a lot of evidence of people being mad, because they noticed an actor that lived nearby wrote on Facebook that it looks like a mermaid with two silicone breasts and all. Above a huge arse that I've never before seen on a mermaid, at least not any I know. But then they go on to say I got no problem with it. I kind of like it, even if it's silicone.
It's great. It's a funny statue to have. I'm all about it. And again, this is a very Italian thing to do. Italian people will sexualize anything. It's probably the least sexy statue they have in Italy. They're fucking nuts over there. They're fucking crazy in Italy. And that's why Italy is our JRVP listener of the week.
I'll tell you right now, the JRVP listener of the week. Now the JRVP listener of the week. The JRVP listener of the week.
It's a statue you got to jerk it to at least once. Am I right?
I already have.
Yeah, that's why I said at least once.
You got the front and the back.
The pose is sexy. Aaron, is it the sexiest statue you've ever seen?
Oh, yeah. I've been to Italy.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, you're lucky. I want to know why they have a statue of a mermaid in the first place.
Well, it was an art school project. So the Luigi Rosso Art School, and the head teacher there, Adolfo Marciano, said the students did it as a group. They were tasked by the mayor to create several statues for the town, including one on the theme of the sea. And I guess the theme of the sea ended up being a sexy-ass mermaid that they said was in homage to curvy women, voluptuous women, which are a large part of society, but are not represented well in mermaid statues.
If you want to give the statue big boobs, okay. But mermaids don't have butts. They've got tails. There's no butt.
That's fair.
There's no, but they don't have
But it's
vaginas.
all-
They don't have butts.
It's all, what, they don't...
You can't have anal with a mermaid.
What?
And you're gonna ask how they poop? They poop out their mouths. They puke like worms. It's a fact.
Wait, but no anal. That totally changes how I look at the Little Mermaid.
That's why you don't want to date a mermaid. And now it's time for
Choo-choo!
recommendation station, Greg.
Dang, I got so many right now, but I'm gonna go back to Netflix, where I saw a movie, Emily the Criminal, which I guess has been out for a while. Came out last year. And I can't believe no one's told me about Emily the Criminal before. Maybe I'm just not talking to the right people. Like, this movie did not have to go so hard. It was so good. It stars Aubrey Plaza. It's like a very, like a lower stress John Wick, but like for office workers. Like, Aubrey Plaza kind of falls into a criminal lifestyle where they start selling or buying, stolen goods at like Walmart type places with stolen credit cards that they create themselves. And somehow all of it was like very believable. She is awesome in it. It moves really fast. Her chemistry with the other lead that's in the movie, I forget his name right now, is awesome. It's a great ending. It moves, and I was really into it. I'm surprised people weren't more into Emily the Criminal. Give it to me.
People were into it. I definitely heard
Maybe
about
people
it.
were.
I have not seen it yet.
You would like it, and it's like 90 minutes. I'm all about a short movie. It's like 95 minutes. It starts going, and like you could totally see this character sort of falling into this criminal lifestyle. And I love the title, actually. At first, I thought the title's stupid, and then you sort of realize why it's called that as you're watching. It's not just because she comes a criminal. Just saying, it's a good title.
Okay. Spoilers, Greg. Sounds good. I've heard good things about it. We'll see. My recommendation this week is a book. It's a book that I've been reading a lot of crime noir this year. I love it. And I was looking at like the best stuff of the year and picked up a book called Don't Know Tough by Eli Craner. Don't Know, K-N-O-W, Tough. Like, you don't know tough. And it's basically like a hardcore Friday Night Lights, where it's about a high school football team in Texas where the coach is like under a lot of pressure. The main running back is having trouble at home. Shit goes down. It's like a very southern crime noir. And just a great book. And I'm recommending this this week because it just won the Edgar Award for Best First Novel. It's a great book. A lot of shit happens in it. Dark and moody and awesome.
What's it called?
Don't Know Tough by Eli Craner.
I'm writing that one down.
Great book. You would enjoy it.
Much better than that Friday Night Lights season where Reagan's killed someone. You remember that?
I bailed on
Spoiler.
that. I bailed during that one.
It got so much better though. Season 3 and 4 is great, but that season is just a little crazy.
Yeah, couldn't get into it. But it was a great show. Loved the show. And that was Recommendation Station. Walker, do your thing.
Whoa, Nelly Furtado, that's a spicy meatball.